Far ahead in the future, Earth has been stripped of real wilderness. Whatever living green survived, trees, flowers, even small animals, was sealed inside enormous geodesic domes and hauled into space as a last reserve of nature. One dome carrier is the Valley Forge, a slow industrial ship drifting through the black with forests under glass. Inside a dome, Freeman Lowell moves like a man who finally belongs somewhere. He floats over a small pond, pops up smiling at rabbits, then checks leaves, trims vines, and straightens seedlings with patient care. For him, this isn't cargo, it's life. The calm gets wrecked by engines. 3 little utility buggies come blasting through the dome like it's a racetrack. Andy Wolf Keenan and Marty Barker, laughing, skidding, and bouncing over paths. Tires crush flowers and tear up grass. Lowell shouts for them to stop and watch what they're doing, but they only joke about the botanist and speed off. Later, in the rec room, the 3 men kill time by trash-talking the whole mission. Restoring Earth's vegetation sounds to them like an expensive fantasy. Lowell walks in carrying fresh produce he grew himself, food that actually smells real, and their indifference hits him hard. He rinses the fruit at a sink, stares out a viewport, and remembers why these domes exist, not for nostalgia, but because humanity panicked. The domes were the final plan to someday replant a dead planet. That night, they play cards. Lowell outplays them and takes the pot, which earns him more eye-rolling than respect. Talk turns to an upcoming communications window with Berkshire Industries, the company running the operation. Wolf and the others are convinced this call finally sends them home. Lowell believes something else, that his years of work have proven Earth can be green again, and the program will be celebrated, not canceled. The others laugh. To them, corporate will shut the project down the second it becomes inconvenient. Between the jokes, Lowell tries one more time to explain the point. These domes aren't decorations, they're a seed bank, an ark. If Earth ever gets tired of its plastic perfection, this is how it starts over. Wolf counters with the usual line, "Nobody on Earth misses trees because nobody remembers them." Keenan calls the domes old history, and Marty says he'd rather have a paycheck and a bed planetside than spend another year babysitting dirt. Lowell goes quiet, but you can see the decision forming. If everyone else has surrendered, then someone has to carry the responsibility alone. Then the call comes. Berkshire Command links in. The 3 men sit up, ready to celebrate. Lowell listens for hope and hears a sentence instead. All domes are to be destroyed. The Valley Forge and the other ships are being returned to commercial service immediately. Wolf, Keenan, and Marty are thrilled. Home at last. They offer Lowell a few sorry man lines about practicality and orders, but he barely registers them. He heads straight into the domes, walking beneath branches and through ferns, greeting birds, watching rabbits hop between shadows like he's memorizing every detail before it's gone. He whispers apologies to animals as if they can understand what's coming. In the mess hall, Lowell slices a melon he grew, bright and wet, and the others tease him again. Why care so much about dirty plants when synthetic meals are clean and easy? Lowell finally unloads. The food they eat is tasteless, lifeless, and people have gotten so used to it they don't even notice. They've forgotten grass, flowers, trees, and a blue sky. Earth sits at the same comfortable temperature year-round, 24 degrees every day. No seasons, no wildness, no wonder. Sure, there's no hunger or disease anymore, he admits, but what did they trade away for that comfort? Photos hang on the wall, including one of a little girl. Lowell points at it and says the real crime is this. Kids like her will never see living nature because adults stopped caring. The others shrug. If it mattered, they say, Earth would have fixed it long ago. Lowell makes one last plea. Don't blow the domes. Delay it. Argue it. Try anything. Wolf and the others remind him they're crew, not decision makers. Orders are orders. Work starts immediately. Charges are carried into the domes. During the rush, Keenan slices his hand moving through thick growth and gets sent to Lowell. In the medical bay, Lowell cleans the cut, treats it, and wraps it tight. Over the intercom comes the next step. Maneuver in 5 minutes. The Valley Forge must pull to a safe distance from other dome ships before detonation. Marty needs help in the control room to execute the maneuver, so Lowell forces himself to go. Marty calls out the procedure and Lowell guides the ship away from the neighboring vessels, putting them in the required position. While Lowell handles the ship, Wolf and the remaining crewmate move through the domes, placing explosives at designated lines and pipe points, acting like they're doing routine demolition instead of wiping out ecosystems. Outside the windows, distant flashes show other ships already detonating their domes. Brief blooms of light swallowed by darkness. He hears detonations from the other ships, one dome after another, like distant thunder. Each flash outside the windows feels like a funeral flare, a whole forest erased in seconds. Lowell slips back to his forest the moment the maneuver is done, trying to steal a few last minutes among the trees. Then the explosions begin. Deep thuds, shuddering walls, alarms. Lowell realizes in horror that the destruction has started on his ship too. When it becomes clear only one dome might still be saved, he makes a choice that changes everything. A crewmate arrives carrying explosives. Lowell meets him with a shovel raised and refuses to let him pass. The man shoves forward and they crash into a brutal fight among the plants. Lowell is injured, but he fights with desperate strength and in the struggle kills the man. Gasping, Lowell runs to the controls. He knows Wolf and the other man are inside the last forest. He seals the access, trapping them there, then detaches the dome from the Valley Forge so it can drift free instead of being destroyed with the ship. To prevent pursuit and hide what he's done, he triggers self-destruct on the attached section, sacrificing parts of the vessel to protect that one living world. Wounded and limping, Lowell drags himself to the flight deck. Berkshire calls again, suspicious about delays. Lowell forces his voice calm and reports a minor docking malfunction, asking for more time. The controller presses him to hurry. The ship is nearing a shadow zone. Lowell switches to the maintenance drones, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and orders them to connect in the cargo bay and assist. Another Berkshire check-in follows. Lowell repeats that he can handle it. The controller's tone turns hard. Darkness is close. The order is blunt: destroy everything at any cost and return home. Lowell agrees just long enough to end the call. Then he does the opposite. He enters a new trajectory, outward toward Saturn, steering the Valley Forge into the shadow, while one last dome of living forest slips away from the people who no longer want it. In the cargo bay, the service drones, now loyal to Freeman Lowell, stage a perfect lie. They kick loose several freight modules and shove them into space, so Berkshire's instruments will read it as a violent accident. Debris venting, systems glitching, evidence of a premature detonation. Lowell calls in and sticks to the script. He reports burnt generator tires on panels 3, 8, and 9 and claims the main bus is failing. Neil, the controller, snaps back, ordering him to put Andy Wolf or Marty Barker on the line. Lowell answers evenly that he can't raise anyone. If they're not in the HAB section, they're probably in Dome 2. The silence afterwards says they don't believe him. Anderson takes over, blunt and urgent. Change course immediately, he warns, or the Valley Forge will slam into Saturn's rings by morning. These dome carriers weren't built for quick turns. Survival would be a coin toss. Anderson tells him to locate where the blast damaged the bus and reroute power around it. Awful work, but it's the only play. He adds that multiple cargo modules appear to have detached from starboard. If a cryo tank under the corridor popped loose and shorted the bus, it might help them find the break. Then he signs off. Before he shuts the channel, Lowell forces a steady tone and asks where Anderson would start first. Anderson tells him to trace the break from the starboard run, follow the detached modules, and check the corridor cryo tank mounts for arcing, signs that point to the short. Lowell says he'll try, even though he knows he's buying minutes, not solving the problem. When the line dies, the cockpit feels empty. The moment the line cuts, Lowell's leg flares with pain and he drops to the floor. A drone rolls into view and he blacks out. He comes back shaking, forces himself up, and digs through the drone manual until he finds the reprogramming section. Lowell rewrites their routines, strips out corporate obedience, and turns them into his crew. Next, he makes the kind of decision only desperation can justify. He orders the drones to operate on his wounded leg. In the medical room, he lies still while metal hands follow his new commands. It's crude, but it holds. He can stand again. He contacts Anderson and reports the bus can't be repaired in time. Anderson's voice goes cold with math. Without control, they can't slow down before the rings. Then he says the unthinkable. Lowell might consider killing himself before impact. Lowell refuses. Anderson switches gears, saying a search team will be sent anyway, just in case anything survives, and ends the call with a stiff, "Good luck." Lowell sleeps from exhaustion, then wakes to the ship shuddering like it's caught in a grinder. Saturn's rings fill the monitors. Ice and rock, a bright, moving saw. He staggers to the controls, barks orders at the drones, and watches one of them get ripped away into open space. The shaking keeps hammering, and then, suddenly, it stops. Against the odds, the Valley Forge clears the ring plane and slips into calm darkness. Afterward, the quiet feels heavier than the danger. Lowell returns to routine checks, but the body in the forest won't let him pretend. He sends the drones into the dome with tools. Before they bury the dead man, Lowell gives a rough farewell, admitting none of them were truly his friends, yet they were still human, and he'll carry what he did for the rest of his life. To keep from going completely alone, he gives the drones names: Huey and Dewey for the two still working, and Louie for the one lost in the rings. He tells them they answer only to him now. Then he trains Huey and Dewey to care for the dome, how to transplant seedlings, spread fertilizer and water without ruining roots, how to move around rabbits and birds without panic. Days blur. Loneliness eats at him. He runs corridors just to feel his heartbeat, drives carts in circles, plays billiards by himself and catches his own voice echoing back. He even programs the drones to play poker. They can follow rules, but they can't be people. Still, he keeps dealing, pretending it fills the silence. Once, Huey wins, and Lowell laughs too loudly. Then he walks into the dome and feels the wrongness immediately. He had been about to collect fresh food, but the leaves are drooping, blossoms dull, entire patches turning weak. The forest is dying. Lowell attacks the problem like a man patching a sinking ship. Samples, experiments, manuals, nutrient changes, humidity checks, temperature checks. Nothing explains it. The failure twists his mind. He sprints through corridors imagining earth, sunlight, real wind. He sends Huey into the dome for more samples. On a monitor, he notices birds fighting on the ground, stressed and hungry. Lowell jumps into a cart and races in himself, only to crash into Huey, which wasn't where it should have been. The impact wrecks the drone. Back in the lab, Lowell tears Huey apart and manages to restore only partial function. Huey moves, but not right. Lowell's frustration spills out at Dewey, even though the robot just stands there, waiting. Later, a live transmission crackles through the ship, Berkshire calling him by name. Lowell freezes. He never expected to be found. He answers, guarded, and Anderson comes on bright, almost friendly. After the ring crossing, they dispatched a search team. It took time, but they tracked the Valley Forge down. Anderson gives a new instruction: release the dome safely. With the heavy darkness ahead, detonating it is too risky. That single line makes everything click. Lowell finally understands the cause: light. He drove into shadow to hide, and the plants have been starving. Anderson says they'll reach him in 6 hours. Lowell bolts to the dome and rigs every lamp and work light he can, building a fake sun. Huey is too damaged to help, so the responsibility falls on Dewey alone. Lowell shows Dewey the watering routes, the checks, the careful tasks. Then he does the one thing that might save the forest from Berkshire's hands. He detaches the dome and lets it drift away into open space. Free, hidden, and now lit from within. Lowell knows what the rescue team will see the moment they board. Missing dome, dead crew, proof of sabotage. They won't negotiate. They'll hunt the dome down. So he makes his final move. He arms the nuclear charges, condemning the Valley Forge and himself. The ship blooms into a brief white blast in the void, taking Lowell and the damaged Huey with it. And far from that flash, the lone dome floats on, lamps glowing like a stubborn sunrise. Inside, Dewey moves carefully through the trees, watering seedlings with Lowell's worn tool, keeping the last forest alive.